Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Welcome back. This might be a two-parter, but let's go ahead and get started. Two more parts.
Sadhguru, while we're really enjoying this conversation and I don't want to bring it to a pause, but I would like to open up the floor to audience questions at this point.
Okay, my question is that why we do puja or any kind of ritual into our Hindu religion or those kind of thing?
Why does somebody do puja?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I was about to not brush your teeth, but it's kind of like a exercise before you do your sports. Why do you exercise before? It gets your body prepared for whatever it is that you're going to do. Puja, it's kind of like more of a mental thing. I'm assuming. Again, I don't know what puja is. I believe it's a type of ritual, of course, but I don't know if it's very physical, like yoga, the physical yoga aspect. I don't know if I can't remember. There's other aspects of yoga, but the westernized version of yoga, the stretching and all that, that prepares your body and mentally as well. Puja, I'm assuming it's more of a ritualistic thing as opposed to a physical activity that prepares your mind for the day. So we have many different kinds of rituals or things we do to prep ourselves for whatever it is that we normally do. So brushing your teeth is not necessarily, I wouldn't give that example, because brushing your teeth is something that you do so that your breath don't smell and your teeth doesn't rot. There's a purpose to it, more of a physical purpose, whereas puja perhaps it's more of a mental purpose, or like a physical purpose. Like you're about to do something very strenuous with your body, so you need to prep your body. You're not going to do anything strenuous with your teeth necessarily, so I hope you understand the difference there.
Do you brush your teeth every day in the morning? No, I'm just asking. You do? Why? Oh, so you understand that. There are many people, for a long time in the history of humanity, they never brushed their teeth. Yes or no? In previous generations of people, by the time you're 40, 45, most people lost their teeth. And it was perfectly normal. You're 50 and you still have all your teeth was a big surprise. Yes, it was 2 generations ago. So today everybody has their teeth intact because everybody's taking care of those things. We are glad, because it's not only for their well-being, for our well-being also. Similarly, I don't know what kind of puja you're talking about. I am not the puja kind, so I wouldn't make a very sweeping comment on that. But generally, people evolved processes to fix themselves in so many different ways. For teeth, they had this; for their mind, they had one kind of thing; for their emotions, they had another kind of thing. Like this, they evolved processes. If for generations somebody is doing it, it must have worked to some extent at least. Is it absolutely working? Maybe not. But is it worked in some way? Yes. Just because you brush your teeth, does it mean to say you will never go to the dentist? You still go. So just because you do puja, does it mean to say you will never get a problem? You still get. But a lot of things managed by simple processes. Questioning it from outside, thinking this is ignorance, this is this, this is that, is not right, because like this, I'm not the puja kind, I can't defend that because I don't do it myself. I must admit now, in my entire life, never once in my life have I ever prayed. Never prayed. I never did that because such a need never arose within me that I need to pray for something. So I'm not the right person. But I have seen certain rituals which are powerful, which is making a huge difference for people, or they should not be destroyed. They are very important because people brought much well-being within themselves, around themselves by doing certain things.
And this is kind of the thing I remember a long time ago that me and a friend talked about religion. Like, you need religion to make yourself good. It's like, man, what kind of person are you? You need this false ideology to keep you sane or nice. It's really weird. You can't just be nice without it. You need some fantasy. But then at the same time, I'm like, whatever, I guess whatever works for that person to keep that person sane or doing good or whatever, and they're doing it because they want to be that way. It's a little bit troublesome, but at the same time, keep doing it, please. So I start to understand that, people do things for certain reasons, and so long as it's making them do good things, then I'm not going to stop them from that. I would hate for them to believe in something false for them to do something good. I would rather them do something good because they just want to be good, as opposed to doing it for another reason other than the reason of just being good.
Right now, when I sit here, you might have noticed that I'm doing a simple process with myself. Why is this? See, to do different types of activity in our lives, our energies need to be focused differently. Let's say, because you took the microphone, let's say you want to sing. You will see singers, good ones, I'm talking about those who have invested their life into music. You will see before they sing they're preparing, they have their own little ritual, something of their own, each person might have developed their own. Or if you're in India, they may have a traditional ritual which they do before they sing. And this keeps his voice, his well-being. More than anything, to sing, the maximum amount of your energy should be in your throat. If it's in your hand at that time, it's not going to help. To perform different types of activities beyond certain level of competence, you need your energies focused. Why do you think one human being is able to do a certain activity so well, another person just can't do it? Simply because their energies are focused that way either naturally or by training. An athlete, before he runs, he's doing his own little ritual so that he doesn't get his cramps and this and that. That's his own ritual. If he doesn't do that ritual, can he not run? Maybe he will run. Maybe he will still run, but he knows to perform beyond a certain limit, certain amount of preparation definitely helps. So like this, people evolve different kinds of rituals. There are very powerful ritualistic processes. The problem with the ritual is just this. The problem with the ritual is not the ritual itself. The problem with the ritual is the integrity of the people who conduct these rituals, which is a serious issue. Because integrity is at a certain low in the world generally, rituals can become very problematic because they have a certain power about them. There are two ways to bring well-being. See, we are on the yogic path. For us, well-being is all internally organized. We don't depend on any ritual, whatever. But is everybody capable of doing this? Investing their life for their internal growth, managing it well from within themselves? No. People need a ritual. 100 people are sitting here, they're not able to do things by themselves, so you do some common process for all of them. Something that they cannot do by themselves, you try to impact them in a certain way so that they benefit. If they could do everything internally, no need for any ritual. I have no need for any ritual in my life. But is everybody like that? No. Initially when I was young, I refused to make any kind of even smallest ritual available to anybody because I was young and little cruel. I said, you better work for your well-being. Why should I do anything for you? But slowly I see there are many people who will never take that level of commitment to work for their own well-being. You have to do something to them. So now we do certain things, minimizing it, keeping it at the minimum, but if people need something, we do something. But the basic focus is, the best thing is your well-being comes from within you, because that way you're free. If your well-being comes from me, in some way you unnecessarily become leaning on me. We don't want this, but those who need a crutch, shall we tell them, pull off the crutch and say, walk right now? Shall we do that? That would be very cruel, isn't it? So rituals are there. Ritual is not the problem. The integrity of the people who conduct the ritual is a serious problem. That is what we need to attend to. Don't throw the baby with the bath water. Bath water has become dirty, but the baby needs to be rescued.
Oh my gosh, a lot of questions.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. First, I'd like to start by saying that thank you for everything that you have done. I've taken your inner engineering course a while back, and it has done amazing things to me. I always thought that in order to be spiritually liberated, you need to find yourself a guru. And in the process of doing so, I've traveled to, I guess, Nepal and India looking for a guru. I've read an article that you published online where you've said that how do you know when you find your guru? And you've mentioned that if you meet someone who almost threatens you and you want to leave, but at the same time there's something that brings you back to this person, then you found your guru. Like, can you have multiple gurus? Or how do you know you're on the right path that, hey, this is working for me and I should be doing this?
Well, I know Swami Nubavananda, everyone's a guru, and everything probably is a guru as well. I know I say, always explore multiple gurus and swamis. You never know who's the best one for you until you actually try. If you just pick one just because you want that one, then you could be doing yourself a disservice. For me, do I believe in multiple gurus? Yeah, I mean, not one guru knows everything. Even if one guru knows everything, that doesn't mean he's able to teach. Well, I guess that means he won't know everything. Anyways, I don't believe any one guru knows everything. So I watch many gurus. I still struggle with the Swami Nubavananda. I am trying to learn his ways. I'm getting slightly better every day, I think. Sadhguru took a little bit of time. Swami Sarvapyananda he's pretty good. He's probably lived in the Western world the longest. And, well, besides one other, he's like second place in terms of living in the Western world the longest, probably. And he's done very well at explaining things. But Swami Tadamananda, he's born in the Western world and went to India to train. And he does a very good job in terms of explaining things, like in a very basic concept. I think Swami Tadamananda, Swami Sarvapyananda have done a very good job of explaining things because they've lived in the Western world. And they kind of understand the Western culture, so they can kind of translate a lot of the teachings to local terms, I guess you could say. Like certain things that you say that only probably your group of surrounding cities or maybe even your country would understand, where other countries they may not translate directly. Sadhguru has been around the world too. He does a fairly good job too, but again, you can clearly see that some of the examples, it does work. Most of it actually does work. But because I believe it's been to Europe and in America, obviously. It's been around the world a lot, I believe. Then Swami Nubavananda's also been quite around the world, but his I don't know if he's been around for very long in terms of like staying in local areas and talking to the people. At least it doesn't seem like it, because that guy is just busy. If you check out his channel, there's non-stop posting of videos of every single day. And I have a feeling this guy just doesn't sleep. He's flying over to every country and like just non-stop talking in all these events. Dude's busy. So I don't think he can pick up really on the local colloquialism, I believe is the right word. So he kind of still has mostly the Indian way of speaking about what he understands and when he translates things. So it doesn't quite translate very well to, say, Westerners, I think. More than just Westerners, of course, but those who don't quite understand the local colloquialisms that he says, they won't understand it. That's more than just Westerners, but Westerners being one of the bigger ones, of course. So I do believe in multiple gurus. Now, is there one primary? Maybe. I'm not sure. Obviously, there's no gurus around where I live, so everything's through the internet. And I do believe in multiple gurus just because, Well, you can't. I can't exactly stick to one. So
Isn't he asking this question to the wrong person? See, first and foremost thing is, when somebody is saying something, okay, you listen to them. Don't believe them. You must listen carefully, but don't have to believe.
that's what I say. Yeah, you listen. Consider what people say, but don't automatically believe them. Absolutely.
You must look at them carefully. Whatever they're talking, has it worked for them? If it's worked for them, obviously they know what they're talking. So you must take. So, is this my ultimate guru? Is he going to take to the end? Let's see, let's go one step at a time. You don't know what is ultimate, isn't it? If he helps you with the present level of your limitations, let's go to the next step and see what the hell he can do. If he does something meaningful, stay, otherwise go. Hello? So, don't think in those terms. See, every year I'm trekking in Nepal and Tibet. Here there is one Sherpa guiding me. He's an illiterate fellow, all right? But on the mountain, if there are two ways and I want to go this way, he won't say, Sadhguruji, please come like this. He'll say, I'll just go that way. He treats me like I'm his mule or something. But I just follow him, because there you better follow him. You understand? Because the simple thing is this, he knows the terrain, you don't know the terrain. The same goes here. If you think somebody knows the terrain, you take instructions. If you think they don't know the terrain, don't stay there. Why are you wasting your time? Isn't it? So the simple way to find out is that I'm saying something. You must look at me carefully. Has it really worked for me first? Or am I talking some scripture to you? If you think it's worked for me, you must hang on. If you think it's not worked for me, you shouldn't waste another moment with me.
I wouldn't necessarily completely agree with that. Obviously, if it's worked for him, it works for him. That doesn't mean it'll work for you. Like, I can say some things that probably won't work for me, but has worked for other people, you know? And again, it's just another option out there for someone to try. Because could that option that never worked for me work for you? Absolutely, it could work for you. It's not guaranteed to work for you, but it could work for you. That's the thing about about, I guess, things or lessons or whatever. We just don't know what's going to work until we try, unless you have done it in the past and not realized, like, oh my gosh, I've done that before and it worked. Why couldn't I think about it just now? That's really weird. You know, things like that. Unless you've done it before and you're like, I'm stupid. But you know, you get it. You have to kind of try something sometimes, and it's a great way. Like, even if it doesn't work for the guru, you know, maybe it is still a wise word. It's kind of like if a doctor tells you not to smoke, and the doctor says, like, you know what, you shouldn't be smoking. It's really bad for your health. You know, it's just dangerous, and it's bad for your lungs, and wise words from the doctor, even though he's not taking his own advice, clearly. But obviously, you kind of have to know that it's a bad idea. You know, you don't. There are sometimes people don't follow their own wisdoms, which is terrible. But you have to be wise about whether that is wisdom or not. And at the same time, if you don't know for sure, you can ask people their opinions about that, or maybe try it out yourself. Learn the hard way by trying it out yourself, or learn the easy way. See if someone else has already done it, and it's like, nope. It's like, hey, have you done this before? It's like, oh, you've done it. Has it worked? No? Oh, it turned out terrible. Guess I won't be doing that then. So there's many ways to find out some things. Again, maybe it worked out bad for you, could work out good for you. It's terrible to say that because that just means anything, really. But be wise about it. That's the only thing you can really do. You don't know what will work for you, you don't know what won't work for you until you try it. At the same time, really meditate on it, especially if you heard your friends say it didn't work on them and they explain why. Like, yeah, I'll probably do that exact same thing. Probably not going to try that at all.
So I've been watching your videos for quite some time, and you've made an interesting comment that when you think of God, most people think of him as an old man sitting up there with a big beard, passing judgment.
You talking about me? With an old beard sitting up here? Tell me further.
And so my question was, I was curious to understand what in your definition would be God.
I mean, what would my definition of God be? I guess even if you don't believe in God, you could have a definition for it. I guess is essentially what the definition of God is: an all-knowing, all-powerful being. It's kind of weird though. There's a contradiction because, in terms of the fact that can God create something that he cannot lift? Meaning, if he's incapable of doing something, then is he all-powerful? It's really strange to say that. So can God possibly, an all-powerful God, I suppose. But perhaps maybe there is some limitation as to he can create almost anything. And the thing he cannot create is something that he cannot do, because it would be a contradiction to his power. Perhaps maybe that has to happen, There can't be a contradiction on that. So he's all-knowing, so he knows everything. He's all-powerful, so there's nothing he cannot do, and he cannot create something that he cannot do, because that contradicts this all-powerfulness. But would that make him limited in his power because he cannot do something? But my definition would be like essentially an all-knowing, all-powerful being, essentially immortal, unharmable, I guess. All those things.
See, the reason why in every culture people have come up with their own concept of God. Every culture has a different concept of God, but everybody has come up with some concept of God. Because they have no explanation for creation, isn't it? Hello? You came out of your mother's womb and looked around, too much creation. You know you didn't do it. Then you looked up your mother, maybe she did it. Well, she delivered you, but she did not deliver the planet, you know that. Then you looked at your father, no, not him. You looked at every other adult around you, nobody looked like competent enough to make all this happen, isn't it? Yes or no? There's not one person here who looks like he's competent to create this whole creation around us. So the simplistic conclusion is, there is a big man sitting up there. Oof, I fit the description. At least the Western description I fit, in the India I don't fit. But now there is an argument. A big argument in the United States churches, is God a man or a woman? The last election they tried to settle that issue. Didn't work that way. So, your ideas of God are essentially cultural in nature. You know Idi Amin? You heard of Idi Amin? You know, Uganda man? Not Tanzania, but in Africa. Idi Amin declared God is black. I agree with him. I agree with him. Because if a white man can have a white god, why can't a black man have a black god? So this argument also is going on, particularly in the US churches. They tried to settle that in the previous election. But in India, we know God is brown. Especially Indians who live outside of India are very proud of this, because, we know what God looks like, because He Himself visited India 9 times. You don't know this? Hello? 9 times He Himself visited. To other places He sent His son, His messenger. Indians Indians are very proud of this. To other places only messengers and sons went, to India He Himself came. I keep reminding them, that is because God wouldn't trust anybody else with Indians. He wanted to do the job hands-on with Indians. So He Himself came not once, 9 times. And He failed. 9 or 10 times we can debate, but failure you cannot debate, isn't it? Obviously He failed, what do you think?
It's a
With the Indians.
perspective that we can take. He maybe didn't do the best job, yeah, but
Uh-oh, getting her in trouble.
he created you, me, so many of us.
Yes, but coming hands-on, it's a failure, isn't it? He could have sent somebody like everywhere else. So, our ideas of God are coming because we have no explanation for creation. What you're referring to as God is essentially that which is the source of creation, isn't it? Because you're human, you're imagining it has to be a big human being. Suppose you were a buffalo. You would definitely think it's a big buffalo. You heard of the big yak in Tibet? You've not seen? I went hunting for a big yak. I drove all over Tibet, took permissions and drove off-road everywhere to see the big yak, because they told me the big yak from horn to horn is 6 feet wide. I wanted to see this animal. Oh my God, how would it be? Then after driving everywhere, I realized it's little got big in their heads. It's little bigger than the domesticated yak, but it got so big, they said it's 6 feet wide, the horns. And I said, I must see this. But there was no such animal anywhere in Tibet. So, if you are a buffalo, you would definitely think God is a big buffalo, isn't it? So our ideas of God are childish, but it is a fact that you and me did not make this creation happen. That's a fact, isn't it? But you don't know how it happened. With all the exploration of science, we still do not know how it exactly happened. Nobody knows, isn't it? You pay attention to a flower, to a leaf, to an ant, to an insect. If you pay enough attention, each one of them smacks of tremendous sense of intelligence, isn't it so? Hello? If you put filth to the root, it becomes a flower. Fantastic or no? Look at you. Look at you. Just the soil that you walk upon, look at you how you are sitting, became such a sophisticated machine, isn't it? So whatever is the source of creation, well, sappy people are saying God is love, desperate people are saying God is compassion, other people are saying now it's a in thing in North America, so God is empathy. They've not been hit by life yet. But if you pay enough attention to creation, because it is the presence of creation which has given you the idea of God in your head, isn't it? If there was no creation, you wouldn't think there is a God. If you pay enough attention to every piece of creation, what you will see is it's intelligence, 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 intelligence beyond what you can contain in your brains. Yes or no? But nobody said God is intelligence, unfortunately. If we had said that, definitely we would be populated with more intelligent human beings rather than the sappy ones. You know, our center is in Tennessee. We have a large center there. When I was new there, I walk into this town, which is a one-horse town, literally a small town. And I'm walking on the street and greeting people, smiling at them, thinking they'll be happy to see a new face. But it's a different kind of setup. I'm just at the right complexion. A shade darker than this cannot be there in that town. I'm just on the edge. So one big man, this wide, over 6 feet tall, comes and stands close to me. He looks down at me and says, "God loves us." Then I say, "The way you are, only God can love you." Before this went inside and worked, I had to go away. Because everybody is concocting their own ideas. Leave your ideas, pay attention to the creation. Tell me, if this flower has to blossom, nobody sprayed perfume to the roots, they put filth. Hello? They put manure. That manure became fragrance. This means, is there a tremendous amount of intelligence functioning in this rose plant? Hello? You ate a piece of bread and this became a human being. Is there a tremendous amount of intelligence beyond your brains functioning within you? Yes. So, this is the source of creation right now for you. If you access even one drop of that intelligence, you will live magically instead of becoming hallucinatory. If you believe things that you don't see, you will become hallucinatory. But if you access things which are not in your access right now, your life will get tremendously enhanced. That's what you should look at. Right now, there is an intelligence here which can turn a piece of bread into a human being. If I took a loaf of bread in my hands and made it into a human being, who would you think I am? You would think I am the source of creation, isn't it? Every one of you is doing this in your stomach, of course, not in your hands. But no access. So, if you don't have something, it's okay. But if you have it and you don't access it, this is a crime, isn't it? So my entire life's work is just this, so that you find access to the source of creation that also throbs within you. You're right now a piece of creation, that's fine, but you are also the source of creation within yourself. If you find access to that intelligence, you live in a magical way. Other people will think you're superhuman, but this is not about being superhuman. This is about realizing being human itself is super.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there. I don't know if anyone in my audience watches Family Guy, but the one thing that stuck to my mind during one of those parts was Chris Griffin. He was holding some type of food that says, "I'm going to turn you into poo." Because he's talking about manure and like eating bread and the bread becoming part of you, but also at the same time, whenever I was thinking him holding it, thinking about Chris doing the exact same thing. But then at the same time, it's like that's the old me right there. Woo! Let me flush that real quick, because that it was part of your body, not you, but your body. You know, Interestingly enough, he's speaking. He's not necessarily speaking in a Advaita Vedanta terms. He is speaking in the sense that almost the body is you as well. Now I don't know. I can't remember if. No, he doesn't. He definitely he speaks in both Western and kind of Advaita Vedanta terms, where he says, "Are you the finger? Are you the hand? And if I chop it off, is that you?" So he does believe in the fact that you are not the body, but in this sense that you are the source of creation. So your body, your stomach, when you eat food, the stomach turns that into stuff of your body. I don't know which stuff, but stuff of your body. So even though that almost sounds like that you are your body, it's just probably more of a an easy way to explain things. But it's not meaning that you are your stomach or you are your body, but it's just the fact that it's your body. You are the body. You are the stomach. Not he doesn't mean it that way. Alright, anyways, I'm going to pause right here. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up the sound below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next vid.